Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Haribo, 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 Haribo. So reading Antya Lila, chapter 20, Shistastaka prayers, Mahaprabhu with his devotees, talking about chanting holy name, Premanam, Sankirtan. Text number 8. Hase Prabhu kahi nasu na swarupa ramaray nama sankirtana kalo parama upaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Translation. In great jubilation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, "My dear Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, know from me that chanting the holy names is the most feasible means of salvation in this age of Kali." There's no purport. Mahaprabhu is speaking, and he uses the word Shuna, or please hear. So once again, the Lord is always starting off with please hear, please hear, please try to understand that by chanting the holy names of the Lord, there's no easier or feasible means of purification and salvation, especially in this age of Kali, most degraded, sinful age. Sankirtana yagye kolo Krishna dana Sehitasu medapaya Krishnera charana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare In this age of Kali, the process of worshipping Krishna is to perform sacrifice by chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who does so is certainly very intelligent, and he attains shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. So this is the, what is it? Yuga Dharma. So this is the way of religion in this age of Kali Yuga. Kala, what is it? Nasteva, Gata Anyata. What is it? Harinam, Eva Kevalam. Kala, Nasteva, Gata Anyata. Is that right? No other way, no other way, no other way. 3 times for emphasis except chanting the holy names of the Lord. This is the easiest way in the most difficult yuga how to purify the consciousness and ultimately how to attain shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Prabhupada speaks about this in the previous Adi Lila, chapter 3, text 77, that Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he is the initiator of the Sankirtan movement, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord, and one who worships him through that Sankirtan is most fortunate indeed. Sankirtana Pravartaka Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sankirtana Yagye Tanre Bhaje Se Idanya. Such a person is truly intelligent, whereas others who have but a poor fund of knowledge, they must endure a cycle of repeated birth and death. Of all the sacrificial performances, the chanting of the Lord's holy name is the most sublime. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the father and inaugurator of the Sankirtan movement. One who worships him by sacrificing his life, his money, intelligence, and words for the Sankirtan movement is recognized by the Lord and endowed with his blessings. All others may be said to be foolish, for of all sacrifices in which a man may apply his energy, a sacrifice made for the Sankirtan movement is the most glorious. So Prabhupada is explaining that anyway, the spiritual master is finding the ways and the means to engage everyone according to their ability and capacity, talent, whatever they can do, how to sacrifice, make a sacrifice for that Sankirtan movement, and by that sacrifice one becomes recognized by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and ultimately is endowed with all of the blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All other people, really they are foolish, and mostly because they're just engaged in so-called religiosity for economic development, for sense gratification, it's some selfish desire. So all of that sacrifice must be made, or should be made if one is intelligent, and Sankirtan movement, and that is considered to be the most glorious. So stressing, especially in the age, the dreadful age, the iron age of Kali, the best way is to chant holy name of the Lord. One who does that is certainly very intelligent, and ultimately one attains shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks, Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Praya Yajantihi Sumeda Saha. In this age of Kali Yuga, intelligent persons, they perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Who is that incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the name of Krishna? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself, and he is accompanied by his associates, his servants, weapons, and confidential companions. That is a verse spoken by Saint Karabhajana in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nama Sankirtana Hote Savanata Nasha Sava Subho Daya Krishna Premera Ulasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. So it's talking no purport, but Mahaprabhu was speaking that it's the means and it's the end. So by chanting, associating with Krishna, directly by chanting his names, one is able, by the Lord's mercy, to become free from all material contamination, all undesirable habits, all sinful desires, sinful reactions. All of these things become gradually, one becomes free, one becomes purified through simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, cleansing. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and ultimately initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. So was our chanting today initiating the flow of waves of love of Krishna? Was it happening like that? No flow of the waves of love of Krishna in our chanting? Did you feel it? Not really? No? So that means we have to get more purified by associating with Krishna and freed from all undesirable habits. We've developed a lot of bad habits over the years, but it's over the lifetimes, right? So to get free from all of these undesirable habits, bad habits, it takes a lot of mercy, a lot of medicine. We need a higher taste. We're addicted to bad habits because we think, oh, this is all I know. Some little bit of so-called happiness is there. But Krishna says you need to get higher taste. If you can get higher taste, then automatically we'll get rid of all of these lower taste or undesirable habits which we have foolishly cultivated for lifetimes. Cheto tapanamajanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya karva chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhi vadanam pratipadam purnam ritasvadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Translation. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of all good fortune for all the living entities. It is the life and the soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. This is the first verse Prabhupada said of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shistastaka, and the other 7 verses are found in subsequent texts. Sankirtana te papa samsara nashana chitta shuddhi sava bhakti sadhana udgama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation. By performing congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, one can destroy the sinful condition of material existence, purify the unclean heart, and awaken all varieties of devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada explains that how we should be chanting the holy name. What is our mood? What are we praying for? That please, my dear Lord, I've fallen in this dreadful ocean. Please pick me up. Please engage me in pure devotional service. I don't want to be Maya Das anymore. Please purify my heart and consciousness from all of these sinful desires and bad habits and all of these unwanted things that are there within the heart. So Prabhupada says chanting with the idea of purifying consciousness and getting freed from offensive mentality. If we sincerely chant Hare Krishna and chanting Krishna's name, knowing the name to be non-different from Krishna, then that living entity is desiring to be directly in association with Krishna. And if Krishna feels that sincerity and seriousness and purpose of chanting, then by His mercy, He manifesting in the holy name. It says the holy name is even more merciful than Krishna Himself. So Mahaprabhu has made it accessible and the most feasible, easiest way to directly associate with Krishna. And by association with Krishna, then He's within the heart of every living entity, and He can purify all of these material desires, material contamination, and destroy this sinful condition of action and reaction, sin and result of sin, karma pala. All of this sin and sinful reaction can be destroyed by the mercy of the Lord in the form of chanting, which purifies this unclean heart. Heart is filthy, and therefore it has to be purified and awaken all varieties of devotional service. So without purified consciousness, purified heart and mind, without sincere desire for surrender and service, one cannot awaken all varieties of different types of devotional service. So it begins with hearing and chanting holy name. It explains that the result of that chanting is one awakens, after one is purified, cleans heart and conscious, one awakens his love for Krishna. So it says that the chief result of chanting holy names is one develops Krishna prema and tastes transcendental bliss. Ultimately, one attains the direct association of Krishna and engages in his pure devotional service as if immersing himself in a great ocean of love. Krishna premodana gama premamrita asvadana Krishna prapti sevamrita samudre majana. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Utila Visharatanya Padeyapana Shloka Jaharata Shunisava Jayaduka Shoka. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation. Lamentation and humility awoke within Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he began reciting another of his own verses. By hearing the meaning of that verse, one can forget all unhappiness and lamentation. So by getting purified, one becomes freed from all unhappiness and lamentation. Material life means always lamenting, hankering and lamenting. Hankering means we want it. And when we can't get it, we lament. I didn't get it. We're hankering. We want it. We even get it, then we lose it. Then we're lamenting, I had it and I lost it. Isn't it? So the material life means hankering for something we can't get, or hankering for something, getting it, and then losing it. Right? So hankering, lamenting. So material life means hankering and lamenting. This is the material platform. So if we can somehow or other get beyond that mental, material, bodily conception, then we can forget about all of this unhappiness that is here in this world. This material world is a place of suffering, really. It's unhappiness, unhappy place. Constant disappointment. Can we shut that off? It's very cold, isn't it? Is it just me? It's a little nippy, isn't it? So Gurudev explained that because we're not going deep enough in our Krishna consciousness, we're not going for the invaluable gem of Krishna, then we're on surface level, mental platform, bodily platform. That platform is threefold misery platform. Thank you. So mental bodily platform means misery platform. anchoring, lamenting unhappiness, depression, disturbance, anxiety, fear. So much suffering is on this mental bodily platform. So by chanting, purifying ourselves, hopefully going deeper and deeper, we can associate with Krishna, Rama. Rama means reservoir of all pleasure. We need the spiritual pleasure. The soul is meant to be happy. If we cannot find it spiritually, then we'll just look for it materially, even though we know the degraded nature of that so-called happiness. Even we know it's just so shallow, it's so temporary, and the result of that material happiness is unlimited suffering. Still, we're like, that's all we know, isn't it? So we need a serious, higher spiritual taste in order to let go of the lower taste. And some of the way, or one of the two ways it says that Krishna attracts the living entity is by chanting the holy names of the Lord. As we become more and more purified by chanting, we become more and more attracted to the chanting and the reciprocation we receive from Krishna in that chanting. It's very attractive. That's how Krishna is attracting our soul towards Him through chanting of holy name. And also Krishna, He manifests in the form of His devotees, and those devotees, they speak about Him, they speak Hari-katha, Krishna-katha, and they chant also holy name in such a way that it is also attractive to us. So Krishna is trying to attract us through the holy name, through the chanting, and also hearing in the association of His dear devotees. And so this way, we become purified, we become more and more attracted to chanting and associating with the Vaishnavas, with Sadhu Guru Vaishnavas. And of course they're always chanting and they're all trying to glorify Krishna and Krishna's devotee. The whole process that purifies consciousness, purifies heart and mind, becomes very pleasing to the ear, it says, and also to the heart. If we cannot associate with Vaishnavas, we cannot purify our consciousness, we cannot be attracted by their personalities, by their reciprocation, by their recitation of this Hari-katha, Krishna-katha, then we can also not relish the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We cannot go deeper and try to reach Krishna through that sincere chanting. Then how will we be attracted away from Maya? Unless we have a legitimate, practical process of being attracted towards Krishna. One time I was thinking or praying and I said something like, well, if Krishna would just attract me, then I could get out of Maya. Like it's somehow Krishna's fault, you know? And Gurudev chastising me, saying, Krishna's already all attractive, Baba. The problem is not from Krishna's side. The problem is from our side. We're so heavily, attracted to Maya, to eating the stool, that we cannot be attracted to Krishna. Although He's all attractive, His devotees are all attractive, chanting's all attractive, but we're not getting any sweet, attractive type of taste, which is pulling us away from drinking the filthy drain water. And I remember many times Gurudev talking about holy name, preaching, and he was saying, this is so sweet, it's so relishable, isn't it? And he just kept looking at us saying, it's so sweet, isn't it? Sweet? Is it sweet? 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 And he's going around asking all of us, and we're all kind of like, you feel a little embarrassed. He's feeling that it's sweet. He's tasting that it's sweet. But because we're in such a horrible consciousness and diseased consciousness, although it's supposed to be so attractive and so sweet, we can't really relish it because of these sinful desires and sinful reactions. We're being punished. So this thing has to get cleansed, it has to get purified. Otherwise we'll never become attracted to Krishna and Krishna's devotees and chanting holy name. So we need a lot of medicine. And problem is, Prabhupada says, you're not taking sufficient or proper medicine. of Harikatha, Krishna-katha, Krishna Nam. So it has to be proper means that it has to be pure, and it has to be potent, and it has to be sufficient. So it must be pure and potent, and it must be enough, not just a glimpse of it. So it must be as much as possible. If we really want to get out of Maya, we really want to purify our consciousness, we really want to surrender to Krishna, serve Krishna, then we have to mold our life in such a way that we can maximize this sadhu sangha as much as possible, and taking constant medicine of this Harikatha, Krishna-katha, then it will be potent, powerful, pure, that will enter inside of us, and it also must be enough dosage, sufficient, it must be sufficient dose. It's just like the doctor, expert doctor, he understands what is the disease, and he gives prescription. And the prescription is exactly according to our disease. It might be perfect medicine, but if it is not enough, if it's not sufficient, it will not be effective. Or if you get sufficient, but it's not actually perfect medicine, then that type of medicine also will not be adequate or sufficient. So it must be pure, it must be potent, it must be empowered from Krishna, from Mahaprabhu, and it must be sufficient as much as possible. And at the same time, nice Krishna Prasadam, Jagannath Prasadam, this is really nice treatment program. The only problem we have is when we're not taking sufficient medicine, and so we're not taking nice dose, or we're not taking Krishna Prasadam. This is contaminating our consciousness. At the same time, not nice medicine of Harikatha, Krishna-katha, Krishna Nam. In this way, instead of purifying the consciousness, we're contaminating the consciousness. So it's a perfect science if we would just agree. But we're not agreeing with the prescription of the doctor, not taking proper and sufficient medicine, and not taking proper and sufficient diet. That is problem. If we can fix that, we can fix our disease, then sooner, much quicker can we become free from this jaundice condition, and then it becomes more and more attractive and more sweet. Then we'll think, this is so nice, what was I thinking before? It was a hellish life. I'm calling it happiness. What kind of happiness is that? It's a source of the suffering condition. It's not real happiness. So the soul needs real happiness. We cannot artificially repress material happiness and not have spiritual happiness. It's not going to work. The soul is hankering for happiness. Now, if we can't find happiness in association with Vaishnavas, hearing Harikatha, Krishna-katha, chanting the holy name, serving with devotees, serving the devotees, and that loving reciprocation, if we cannot find that satisfaction and that happiness, all that's left is Maya. Little bit of happiness, unlimited suffering. That's Maya. So if we don't take it seriously and get spiritual taste, all we're left with is drinking the filthy drain water and trying to convince ourselves that somehow or other it's alright, it's not that bad. So those who are really intelligent, it says, they'll not be satisfied with that. And they'll do something about it in order for us to be more and more attracted to Krishna in the form of chanting and in the form of hearing Harikatha, Krishna-katha in association with Vaishnavas and relishing Jagannath Prasad, right? It's not like it's not a job. It's supposed to be relishable. You know, it's not like work. What are you doing? I'm eating. It's not work. It's supposed to be like enjoying. It's allowed. No one's saying don't enjoy. The problem is we're trying to enjoy the stool. Oh, you're stopping my enjoyment. I'm trying to eat the stool right now. Oh, sorry. Well, here's some nice rasgulla for you. Here's something that's really, really sweet. Oh. The hog is said like that, right? Why I want your rasgulla? I have nice filthy drain water here and I'm enjoying. Are you here to disturb my enjoyment? I'm drinking the filthy drain water. Why you're disturbing me? Why you're trying to give me rasgulla? Huh? Are you trying to stop it? My eating of the stool and drinking the filthy drain water? Then we get uptight. The hog gets uptight. If you don't give the stool, then what will I eat? What, am I not supposed to eat anything? So Prabhupada said, it's not that restricting, it's we're trying to give you something better to eat. So Prabhupada says, we're also eating, we're also drinking, we're also dancing, we're also singing. But it's in relationship to Krishna. Not like the karmis in the club, dancing in the club. Right? You were there before, right? A couple times? That brings you to hell, right? Beginning starts off really fun. In the end, it ends up really, really miserable. That's material sense gratification. So nobody's saying don't dance and don't chant and don't sing and don't eat and don't drink, but we're addicted to the filthy drain water and the stool. And that's all we know. It was like that story about the person was talking about, Gurudev was talking about, the guys you're telling about what is hell like. Right, it's dark, the coal miners, right, it's cold, it's dark, it's dirty, and it's damp. You're telling the man who's working in the coal mine, it's like a hell. He's like every day he's going and he's working like that, right? He says, that's my everyday life, How's the story go?
And he wants to scare them, that they shouldn't go to hell. And he says, and he realizes that,
he wants to scare them, like, what is hell? And they're like, this every day we're living in this condition, right?
So then he says, and then there's no newspapers.
Yeah, there's no newspapers in hell. Oh. Then he got nervous, there's no newspapers there in hell. So you say dark, cold, damp, nasty, filthy place. They're not scared because every day they're working like that, right? But if you say there's no newspaper there, there's no wine, no whiskey, nothing to smoke, then that they think that's hell. That will be hell, right? If I don't get all these things, that will be hell. How I can be happy there? Don't you see I'm enjoying this filthy drain water, this stool. Are you trying to take this stool away from me and give me a rasgulla? I don't like rasgullas. I like stool. It's more nice, isn't it? Gurudev were laughing, Wow, why are you bothering me? I have such a nice thing I'm enjoying here. So we're like hogs. It's not just like a joke. It's really, we're like hogs. Because the hog is thinking it's really, really nice. It's the source of my happiness. And if you take it away from me, then what is left? How I'll be happy? What will I do? So Guru and Krishna are trying to give us some higher thing, and we don't even know it exists. All we're calculating is I can't live without the stool. There's a hog mentality. So Gurudev says, you know, Krishna, they have to make some kind of a trick. They have to trick you. To put some, you know, sweet milk in your filthy drain water. So that's Gurudev. He comes, he speaks Harikatha, he chants Hare Krishna, and even though we're so contaminated, we're still addicted to stool, we get a glimpse of sweetness of associating with Gurudev and hearing him and associating with him and chanting with him. It becomes more and more attractive. The more and more we become purified, then the more and more we can relish it. When we were with our spiritual master, and he was, no matter what he was doing and saying, it didn't even matter. Whether he was talking about this or that, or this topic or that topic, it was all just nectar. Even we'd walk around Bhubaneswar temple, then Gurudev, we'd go see the cows, then we go to the Tulsi garden. That place really looked like a slum. Okay, but when we're walking there with Gurudev, you felt like you're walking in Vrindavan. You without Gurudev there, you think this is a horrible place. Back there behind the temple. But when we were walking there, tripping in the garden and trying to somehow be around Gurudev, right? Try to hear something, associate with him. It was like you're just in Goloka Vrindavan with the you know, the personality who's from that place. It was very, very attractive. And it was so attractive to your spiritual senses that you couldn't think about other stupid things in his association. It became less and less important. And Gurudev and his association and hearing from him and reciprocating with him and whatever he was saying, however he was moving, it was all nectar. So we got a practical glimpse of that association and hearing him speaking about Krishna consciousness and how he was interacting with us and how he was trying to help us and laughing with us and sometimes chastising us, attracting us, dragging us. It was all like a full engagement in that association. And I just remembered, and Gurudev would say, as much as possible, you should try to mold your life in such a way to get association of your spiritual master. Because without that association, without being attracted in that association, by hearing and chanting about Krishna, there's no way to give up this nastiness, this filthy drain water, which we're calling a so-called material happiness. But if we do not have a genuine experience which you can compare, then how can you know that this thing is higher, that it's more sweet, it's more attractive, it's more beneficial to the soul and to our life and to our future life? So that's how Krishna attracts the living entity. And you could say that's even more important than chanting. Because without Gurudev and without the purification we get by associating with him and hearing from him, then what type of relishment and attraction are we getting in chanting the holy name? So Krishna comes and manifests in the form of the spiritual master. He empowers the words to have meaning in our heart and our mind. It purifies us. And then in the purified consciousness, then when you're chanting with Gurudev, you're chanting in a purified consciousness, then the holy name and Krishna reciprocating with holy name, then it becomes very attractive. You can take shelter of the holy name. You can feel reciprocation with Krishna because we're in a purified consciousness. Without associating with the spiritual master, purifying our consciousness by hearing Harikatha, krishna-katha, then when you're chanting, it's Namaparad, Mind is going 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's thinking about every other damn thing underneath the sun except Krishna. So how Krishna is going to reciprocate with that kind of chanting? Right? 99% of the time, you're not thinking at all about Krishna. And all of a sudden, you just hear like Krishna, and then your mind just goes to like some other thing, you know? And then all of a sudden, you know, after 99 minutes, it comes back, Rama. Then it takes off and it's gone for another 99 minutes, right? What kind of chanting is that? It's like, I don't know why I'm not getting a taste in the chanting. Gurudev says you can give up all the offenses in the chanting, but the one offense you're not giving up is inattention. So we're so inattentive while we're chanting because we're thinking of everything and everyone else. That's offensive chanting. So how is Krishna going to attract us and reciprocate with us if we're not chanting in the right mood with the right consciousness? So without associating and hearing from our spiritual master, without purifying our heart and consciousness, without developing strong faith in the holy name and how Krishna is non-different from his holy names, and how when you say Hare Krishna, you're directly associating with Krishna, and understanding how Krishna is reciprocating with the living entity through that type of quality of sincere chanting, how we're going to chant properly. So first, Krishna is attracting us through our spiritual master, who's nicely explaining everything in an attractive way, in a reasonable way, which is touching to our heart and our mind and our consciousness. We want relationship, but it's meant to be spiritual relationship. It says spiritual master is like your mother, like your father, like your best friend, a master, everything. That's Krishna. Suridam Savabhutanam. He's your well-wishing friend. He's seed-giving father. He's like mother. He's like everything to the disciple, to the real disciple. He's everything. This spiritual relationship. And so we must start there, and Krishna is attracting us there in that association with our spiritual master. Then as we become more and more purified, he speaks, nice katha, nice philosophy, nice discussion about Krishna, Krishna consciousness. It's very pacifying and it's very attractive to the ear and to our heart. And all of this material anxiety and fear and lamentation and all this disturbance and unhappiness, it actually leaves you when you're sitting and associating and hearing from your spiritual master. It becomes very attractive, and the results of that association and hearing also is very, very attractive because we get such a nice result. Then the spiritual master says, okay, now in that consciousness, now sincerely cry to Krishna, pray to Krishna, convince Krishna. And Krishna wants to. Prabhupada says, you take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take 10 steps towards you. So without Gurudev, without his mercy, without purification, we can't even take one step towards Krishna, really. So Gurudev's helping us. By the mercy of Krishna, one gets such a guru. And by the mercy of that guru, then we can become attracted to Krishna, and then we can get Krishna. We can get Krishna's attention. Krishna is only interested in pure devotion. That's all he's waiting for. He wants to see that soul desire to only have pure devotion and love towards him. That's what he's waiting for. If somehow or other we can understand that is the greatest goal and the greatest well, and somehow be convinced of that and try to convince Krishna of that, then Krishna will take 10 steps towards you. So this is how Krishna has set it up. He knows everyone's in Maya here. He knows everybody's like a hog, low consciousness, especially in sinful age of Kali. He knows everybody's addicted and distracted by everything else but himself. So he has to think, how can I attract that living entity? And sometimes Krishna himself comes, Mahaprabhu comes, he enacts so many wonderful pastimes, especially Mahaprabhu in his association with his devotees, and these type of dealing, a loving affection between the Lord and his devotees. It's very sweet. And as we become more and more purified, we start to feel like, oh, this is so sweet. Doesn't everyone want to have best friend and someone who loves you and serves you and really cares about you and never exploiting you and always just trying to help you? That's Mahaprabhu. That's Mahaprabhu's devotees. So our Gurudev used to say, Mahaprabhu is trying to embrace you, but you are running away from the embrace of Mahaprabhu. We're running away. We're running back to the stool again and again and again and again and again, addicted. So they understand, Krishna understands, Mahaprabhu understands, Gurudev understands. So they're trying like anything to trick us, to purify us, to attract us. And even sometimes Gurudev says, "No, Guru, you have to drag them. You have to force them to taste something better." So by any means, somehow or other, they're trying to get us to appreciate, to accept what's being offered. But we're so stupid, we're so addicted, we're so fallen, we're so foolish that we're not allowing ourselves to be attracted. And even Mahaprabhu, later in his prayers, is saying that although everything is there in the holy names, everything is there, all potency is there, I'm so unfortunate that I cannot be attracted to it. That's conditioned soul. Everything's there. You can get everything by chanting of holy name. All the way to Krishna Prema. But unfortunately, I'm not able to be attracted because of my disease condition. So we must understand how disease conditioned we are. That the most attractive personality, in all the different ways that he's attracting us, still we're addicted to stool. We're addicted to the filthy drain water, and we're saying, oh, it's Amrit. Nice, nice, nice. So foolish we are, isn't it? But anyway, they're very merciful, they're very kind, they're very compassionate. They just keep trying. They just keep trying to convince us. They're always there reminding us, convincing us, persuading us, canvassing us, trying to somehow or other distract us from Maya's presentation. There's a competition for our soul. Maya, agents of Maya, they're also attracting. And Krishna, Mahaprabhu, and their devotees, they're also trying to attract your soul. Isn't it? A good battle going on. Maya is trying to pull, and Guru and Krishna are trying to pull, and the soul's like in the middle, like, what should I do, you know? Which direction should I go? Right? It's like a tug of war, you know? Like this, you know? Maya has one arm and pulling you, and Guru and Krishna has the other arm, and they're pulling you, and you're in the middle. Like, which direction should I go? The soul is being pulled. So we have to pray that, please Krishna, Gurudev, please you win. Even I still want Maya, but still you win. You force me. Force me to not commit spiritual suicide. Force me that I don't disappoint you and fail in my service. Force me so I don't lose your association because of my madness. And Maya is too strong. So we have to, in our soul, in the heart of hearts, we have to pray to Guru and Krishna, please you win. You force me. And don't let Maya win. Don't let Maya distract me away from you Gurudev, away from your devotees, away from Mahaprabhu, away from Krishna, please. If we don't pray, that's the test of our sincerity. What do we want? Do we want Maya to win? Or do we want Guru and Krishna to win? Ultimately, that desire will determine who wins. So we should really think of, do we want Guru and Krishna to win or do we want Maya to win? And the soul's in the middle. They're like this. So now if Guru and Krishna, if you don't have love and affection towards your spiritual master and towards Krishna, if it's not more than Maya will win. It's a question of love and affection. It's a question of faith. So Guru and Krishna are canvassing our soul, but Maya is also canvassing. So who will win? Who will win out? So if we don't really have love and affection towards Guru and Krishna, and we don't want to please them more than disciplining them and leaving them, then anyway we have to pray that Guru and Krishna may win to force our soul towards them and save us, protect us from the strength of Maya and Maya's agents of Maya. The really Kurukshetra, battle of the soul going on. So Maya, sometimes family, they're also agents of Maya. If they're not pure devotee, if they're pure devotee, then they're agent of Krishna. And they'll tell you, yes, you should surrender and serve Krishna. But if they're not pure devotee of Krishna, they're agent of Maya, then they'll say, why you're going to the temple? Why you're going and trying to surrender to Krishna? Why you're just sitting and chanting Hare Krishna? Go get a job, man. Go make some money. Right? So it's difficult to think, well, my mother, my brother, my sister, they're agents of Maya? Well, if they're in Maya, and they're serving Maya, and they're stopping you from serving Krishna, then that means they're agent of Maya. They're in Maya, they're serving Maya, and they're trying to stop you from serving Krishna. They're agent of Maya. But we think, no, it's my mother, oh, it's my father, it's my brother, my sister, my grandmother, my grandfather. How I can say they're agent of Maya? They're in Maya. They're not serving Krishna. You're either serving Krishna or Maya. There's only two choices. Krishna or Maya. We're either Krishna Das or Maya Das. Right? We have two choices. So Krishna is pulling this way, Maya is pulling this way. So are we servant of Krishna or are we servant of Maya? Are our family members, are they servants of Krishna or are they servants of Maya? If they're servants of Maya and they're stopping you, undermining your determination and your faith to serve Krishna, that means they're acting as agent of Maya. They'll stop you from surrendering to Krishna. That's a big test, isn't it? Especially in India. Oh my God. The mother will roll on the street, pounding the chest. I will kill myself if you leave me. Isn't it? And then they're crying, oh, don't do it, oh, right? They put big drama, man. Big drama. So our Gurudev used to say that the last trick of Maya to stop you from surrendering to Krishna is tears of the mother or the wife or the daughter. Oh Pita, don't go. Oh my dear husband, oh, I'll not survive. Or the mother, right? oh, I'll kill myself. And then you're like, oh, I can't do it to my mother. Isn't it? I can't do it to my grandmother. They spent the whole life. Then the mother said, I was patting you. I was feeding you. Right? They do like a whole drama, you know, and you're like, ah. So Maya knows how to really, really make it tough, isn't it? And we have to pass that. So if Guru and Krishna are not strongly giving us spiritual strength and inspiration and attracting us more than the tears of the mother or the wife or the daughter, then how will we get out of Maya? You see, all devotee, every one of us has to go through this test. And somehow we survived it, and family, everyone's alright, nobody died. They're all getting on, no problem. Oh, we'll not survive without you, right? Then you become devotee, and then you're asked, how are you? Oh yeah, we're doing fine, everything's great. Krishna's providing, you know. Wow. You show the video, here's the drama, you're rolling on the ground, you know. I mean, this was no joke. So they're just like, it's tricking. Maya's like a tricking you. And you have to pass it. Arjuna, he was also in big, how I can kill my family members? Come on. I'll go to hell. How I can show my face in this society? You kill your own family members? Come on, what is bigger test than that? And Krishna said, don't worry, nothing will happen to them. Come on. He completely mental case. Completely bewildered what to do, how to do. Tortured soul. He doesn't know what to do. He can't surrender. Neither he can kill the family. So he's like caught like in middle. So he's not moving spiritually, he's not moving materially. Just a horrible condition. Just getting weaker. No solution in sight, only tightening. Problem tightening. Squeezing. And then, can't take it. Surrender to Krishna. Then you just surrender to Krishna. So Maya's like this. She's just tightening, just squeezing, tightening, to the point that you're ready to just go mad. So suffering condition. If you're smart, you'll perceive your suffering condition. Then no gentleman can stay in such a condition, isn't it? Are you perceiving your suffering condition? Not really. We're the fines. Everything's just fine. We should call it fine and dandy. We're the fine and dandies. Don't you hate that, having that name, when I can use this anytime I want? Anytime I want, I can just pull that out and say, you're the fines. But we think we're just fine. As long as we can have a little bit of stool. Don't restrict it. Don't restrict it. Then we're going to be just fine. If you tighten too much, well, I don't know. I'm just saying. So, who's going to win? Guru and Krishna or Maya? You're in the middle, right? You're getting pulled both ways. So, who will win? Guru and Krishna are trying to attract you. And Maya is also trying to attract you. It's not Krishna. It's not Guru and Krishna, it's Maya. Definitely. And she's also like a witch. She can attract you. She knows what is your taste, as bad as it is. Which is a whole nother question, but anyway. And how she's attracting. And we're like, really? It'll be nice? Really? You love me? Yes, come to my lab. Gurudev said, come to my lab. You'll enjoy. And then all of a sudden, Guru and Krishna said, don't do it. You know, then the Guru and Krishna are trying to pull you out of the lap of Maya. And Maya's going, hey, then Maya's getting furious. Ah, you're leaving my lap? No. And then Maya will attack you. And then Guru and Krishna are trying to pull you. This is like a battle, right? Your shoulders are getting really sore, you know? You're getting stretched. And then all of a sudden your hands are like, you know, like Lord Chaitanya, you know? Like really long arms. But ultimately, Guru and Krishna are not going to force us. They're going to attract us, they're going to give a strong argument, but they will not force us. Krishna gives a free will, and He gives you the right to decide as you like. So we have to be careful, because if we keep demanding it, then Guru and Krishna say what to do. They're not serious. Now they're going to have to learn the hard way. They're going to have to suffer. So let's hope that we don't have to be so foolish that we give up association of the spiritual master and the service of the spiritual master in order to chase some selfish and ignorant, sinful desires. Are you tired? Yes. Huh? Okay. You go home, take some nice rest. I thought you were in spiritual ecstasy. I was like, oh my God, she's ready to fall on the ground. She's ready to roll in the dust. Then I realized there's no dust, and she must be exhausted. We have her out there on the track every morning, you know, going back and forth. And she's got no shoes on.
On the track.
Huh? Yeah, the track. So now nighttime, now she's peaceful, hearing all of this and taking prasad. She just wants to go to sleep. That's a nice program, isn't it? Body, mind and soul. Everything is being taken care of, right? And the fresh air from the ocean, right? Oh yeah. Did you take rest today? A little bit, not enough. All right. So on that note, we'll stop there. Everybody have a really nice rest tonight. Hopefully you can pray and chant and pray. Guru and Krishna, please, you drag me, force me, whatever it takes. Don't let me go to Maya. Don't let me be foolish. Don't let me be the biggest loser. We want to be most fortunate, not most unfortunate. But that's up to us. Nobody can force our desire. We have to take it. Gurudev said the ropes are hanging. Spiritual master is giving you a rope. He's saying, please grab hold of the rope. Hang on. I'll pull you out. But we have to grab the rope. And we have to hold on. And that's the test of how badly do we want Krishna. How badly do we want to get out of the deep dark well? And that every soul will be tested. Gurudev said the ropes are hanging everywhere. But which fortunate living entities will grab it, take it seriously, and then get able to be pulled out of that situation. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate it. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Govinda Swami, Srila Gurudeva ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Guru Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Govinda Swami, Srila Gurudeva ki.